What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to go over a kind of tips and tricks to the start of Season 4. Now, I'm not any kind of crazy Diablo 4 player like Rax or somebody else you might see on YouTube that has all the knowledge, that puts together all the builds. I did follow a build guide from Mobalytics for this, but I've only played about 7-8 hours, and I was able to make it to 72, so you'll be the judge of, is it too easy? Is it not too easy? Is it just more efficient to try to get us to end game because that's really where the game begins? I'm not sure. But through the first 8 hours of playthrough, I am having fun. I do like some of the changes, and my favorite change actually is the fact that you can use your horse sprint in town. I know it seems like such a little thing, but it is a big deal, and it looks like they rearranged the occultists in a lot of the areas so that it's close to the blacksmith, which is also a huge quality of life change, kind of putting everything in town together. That's not what this video is about. This video is about the tips and tricks on how to level fast, because I was able to do this solo. I was able to do the capstone dungeon, the first one at 35 and the second one at 51. So builds are insanely powerful, and here is exactly what I did to do that. We're not going to go over past footage, but I will just show you exactly what it is that I did. Now, with the addition of Hell Tides to World Tier 1 and World Tier 2, I went right for the Hell Tides. The Hell Tides, I think, made a huge difference, not only for the experience gain, because you do start with, I believe, 10 skill points to begin the season from past characters if you did work on the renown in the past. And it makes it so much easier to kind of start, get out their level. Plus, every chest is a mystery chest in World Tier 1 and 2, and everything only costs 100 shards. Granted, the shards do fall far and few in between, which I was a little confused about, because I do believe, I thought I heard them say in the patch when they were talking about the season that there was going to be more frequent cinder drops plus more mobs. Well, there is more mobs. It seems to be less frequent on the drops, so getting to 100 kind of felt like it took the same speed as getting to 250, so it's whatever. I honestly thought the Hell Tides would change in every difficulty, but once I hit World Tier 3, it went back to normal, where there was just 2 or 3 mystery chests per area, and they were back costing 250, so I'm out of fury. I don't know if that was an intended change, if I just heard them wrong, but I would say Hell Tide #1, best place to go, and I'm only just showing you some Hell Tide stuff just because, you know, I'm talking about it, so I'll show you exactly what I did. So Hell Tide's huge leveling. I think I went from like 1 to 13 maybe in World Tier 1, then I bumped it up to World Tier 2 and really started pushing. So Hell Tide's super important. I would say arguably the next most important thing is your seasonal journey. So if you've played Diablo 3, you know that every season each character, each class would have a specific build that would reward you for doing challenges throughout your seasonal journey. They have brought that back in Season 4 Diablo 4. I like it because it helps you get to endgame a bit quicker. It may make it a little too easy. So you have these seasonal journeys. You don't even have to complete all the objectives. You just have to get to that bar, and they reward you with gear. And I would, if you're just starting out and you haven't made your class yet, I would probably pick the one that has a better build that maybe you want to play. Like, I wanted to play Dust Devil's endgame, and that just happened to be the Barbarian gear, so that made it really easy for me to make my build. What I will say is if the gear that goes along with your class isn't the final build you're going to make, I would, at least through the leveling process until you get to World Tier 4 and get the gear you need to respec, I would play whatever build Blizzard is providing you from the seasonal journey. In my opinion, that makes the game run a little bit smoother. It helps you go through, you know, the world tiers a bit quicker, makes you a lot more powerful, and you know, it's great. And these aren't even that hard, you know, complete a dungeon, you know, world events. Just doing a few of these will get you your first few legendaries. You can then build off of that, and that's kind of what helped me be able to get to World Tier 4 at level 52. So, and I was able to kill in the Helltide. Wasn't super durable, but I could kill in the Helltide. So just keep that in mind. Work towards your seasonal journey. There's a lot of good stuff you can get in here, so just keep working towards it. It's 100% worth it. For the next tip, where is it? It's down here, I believe. Go to the Iron Wolves encampment. You get a lot of good stuff early game, and I probably normally wouldn't have even noticed this right away. But I told myself I'm going to do the seasonal quest this season just to feel like I can get a quicker boost in power because there's a reason why they're there. But if you talk to this person, you'll have quests. But what happens is you get Wolf's Honor. So when you're working in the Helltide, the kills reward you points towards your Wolf's Honor. And with each rank, you get caches filled with items. You know, you get to Tier 4, you get a unique. And that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of things you can do, and it just keeps on going. So the more Helltides you do, they're really pushing for Helltides. Make sure you're doing the seasonal quests to help progress this along to get all the stuff that you need, because you can get a lot of good gear out of that. Sorry, I got a little dry mouth there. So that is a huge thing to be doing. The next thing I would say that's important is, because of the way the codex works, salvage all your legendaries.
The forge is ready for whatever
it's just some of them aren't worth hanging on to unless you plan on imprinting another aspect on that gear already. So tempering is huge. It's super important. And if you're running the Helltides, I haven't noticed any trouble getting enough material to do that. So if you're constantly leveling through Helltides, which in my opinion is the best way to do that, seasonal quests in Helltides pretty much exclusively. I didn't do anything else. Maybe a few Nightmare dungeons here or there, but from basically 1 to 72, that's what I was doing. Exclusively Helltides. You can complete the Tree of Whispers while you're in there doing the seasonal journey and unlocking all this gear to pretty much be overpowered early in the game. I dropped some greater affixes. Those are pretty cool. They're not as rare as I thought they would be. I have a whole bunch of them. But what I would say is imprint as early as possible if you have the material. And you should by running the Helltides. So because I'm running Dust Devils, and I have... So, for instance, you will find these sheets on the ground. You can learn them, and they are tempering. So I'm running Dust Devils. I have this Sandstorm Augment. So I can either roll Dust Devil damage, chance for Dust Devils to cast twice, and Dust Devil size. So I'm going to roll this on all my weapons early game just to get that bonus damage. You may want to roll end game too, but what I'm saying is early game you can do little things that help boost your build. And you can do all sorts of things that do resource, mobility, utility. There's all sorts of things you can find. You find them running through Helltides. You find them through dungeons. They drop all over the place. You can learn them. And I think tempering, because it doesn't cost any gold, and you once again reiterating, you should have the materials for it. It's a relatively easy way to level up your gear super early game to make you overpowered. I mean, I have 24,000 attack power right now at level 72. My level 95 sorceress, I don't even think made 10k last season. So they definitely buffed a lot. Granted, I understand I get 2 more weapons with the barbarian, so he's overpowered to begin with. But it made leveling super smooth. Tempering is the way to go. Now, I will say the one problem I'm having is imprinting. Imprinting, it seems to be expensive in this game. I can't even upgrade my potions because it seems as though gold is a little bit harder to come by. Maybe that's just me because I'm in the Helltide, and maybe if I ran Nightmare Dungeons, I have a lot more gold. I've been having trouble imprinting things because I don't have enough gold. So even though they said that you're finding enough crafting material that you don't need to pick up yellows this season until they rework them because they have 2 affixes versus 3, so they're not as powerful. They're not really worth imprinting on. If you don't need material super bad, I would pick those up just to sell them. because I've noticed that I've had such a difficult time trying to imprint because of the cost. I mean, I can't even upgrade my potions because it costs like 1,000,000 gold and I only have 600,000. And that's unfortunate. Like, imprinting costs a lot. Luckily, tempering doesn't cost any gold. So that's the one thing I've noticed I've struggled with material-wise is gold. But other than that, everything seems to be pretty abundant by just playing the game and playing in Helltide. So those are my main tips and tricks to level early. Obviously, if you have a friend, it is way better to level with a friend. I also used my Smoldering Ashes on getting boosts to my XP from each monster kill. I really wanted to get to level 100 as quickly as possible, so then I can change my focus into just collecting gear and leveling up and going through the pit and doing all those things, trying to get there as quickly as possible. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And I want to know what everyone's thoughts are if you're playing. I'm not saying that my tips are groundbreaking. You probably already know all this stuff. I'm just saying from my experience, this is what worked for me. Doesn't mean it'll work for you, but it was relatively quick, painless, fun, and smooth leveling process thus far. Now that brings me to my next thing. Do I think they made the game too easy? Well, I just did, right before I decided to record this, a world boss came up, so I said, let's go see. Granted, there were a lot of us over there, but nobody was higher than level 84, I don't think, and this world boss was 90 plus, and it got killed in 15 seconds. So I don't think last season, even with level 100s involved, I ever got killed like in less than like 45 seconds in my experience. So is it a little bit easier? I think the gear is just super strong, and that's why they added the tormented bosses at level 200. That's why they added the pit. You know, it's like most of the game's core content's not going to be hard for any build once you kind of start building on your Paragon boards. I would say once I got to like level 60, I was doing like level 85 dungeons, no problem. And yeah, it was super smooth. So that would be the only thing I say. If you guys started Season 4, let me know how it's going for you. If you found any of these tips helpful, let me know in the comments down below. And let me know what class you're playing and your thoughts on the new season. Do you like the changes they made? Do you don't like them? Granted, there's still a lot more to explore here, but yeah, I'm enjoying myself so far. So I'm going to keep making content on it. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to keep grinding it out, trying to get to 100. But hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you did, please subscribe, hit that like button, and I will catch you next time.